Okay, yeah, it's gonna be rainy. It's gonna be a rainy day today. I can tell, judging from how the weather looks like, it's gonna be a rainy day today. Um, so let's head straight to Goodison Park. We're still on the results of the Carabao Cup quarterfinal clashes. The results, So let me give you my own analysis on the game that took place between Everton and Fulham at Goodison Park. So we do understand the fact that none of these teams have ever won this competition, right? And none of these teams have ever, on the side of Fulham have never advanced to the last four of this competition. They've never advanced beyond the quarterfinals of this competition. As for Everton, the last time Everton did so was 7 years ago in 2016, right? And then on the other hand, you had to look at the fact that, yeah, both of these teams have got a great history, right, of actually featuring in this competition. Although none of them have really been that successful, understandably so, because both these clubs haven't won major silverware in decades. Last time Everton won major silverware was in the 1980s. As for Fulham, it goes back to the 1960s. They almost did so in terms of winning the Europa League and during the 2009-2010 season, but they just came very close by reaching the final. But although it was not meant to be for the Londoners. So what we could say is, looking based on the game, how the game went, Everton were the dominant of the two sides. Okay, understanding the fact that Everton were without Dele Alli, who's still injured. He's not fit enough to actually feature in the game, as well as Ashley Young and Seamus Coleman were also out of action, were not available for selection in this quarterfinal tie against Everton. And then on the side of Fulham, former Barcelona and Wolverhampton Wanderers winger Adama Traore also could not make selection for the team, although he was battling with a minor injury, which made him not to be available for selection, as well as Raul Jimenez. That was the big absentee for Fulham, due to the fact that, remember, Raul Jimenez, the Mexican superstar, is serving a 3-match suspension due to that horrendous red card that he did receive against Newcastle in that 3-0 defeat at St. James's Park. Let's get straight to the game. Everton was the dominant of the two sides, to say the least. They started very well. We saw Dwight McNeil on the left-hand side causing all sorts of problems for the Fulham defense. Although the combination between him and Dominic Calvert-Lewin was actually materializing, although it didn't really materialize to that extent where they could eventually find the back of the net. They had several opportunities, including McNeil had a couple, where even that one good chance that he had, although you could say the angle was against him, but he did place his effort over the bar, but you could say that the angle was against him and he just went with too much power, but that was a good effort nonetheless. You could see like Fulham really struggled in the first half. They were struggling to contain the Toffees. They were really struggling. We also saw like with players like Willian, understanding that the Brazilian Willian, he's more effective in the attacking positions, but now you could see the way Everton was so dominant in the first half. It happened, to be that Willian now had to drop most of Fulham's dangerous attacking players, even including Alex Pereira, Alex Iwobi, who was making his return to Goodison Park, the former Everton boy who did sign for Fulham this season in August. They were all forced to track back due to the fact that they could not contain the home side's dominance, right? And we saw a couple of times that even Calvert-Lewin had a great chance to put the ball in the back of the net, although he was unlucky as well, just missing the target by inches. We also saw players like Tarkowski being so much involved, dominating in terms of the midfield, winning those second balls, and actually creating some openings so that Everton could be more dangerous on the attack. But however, against the run of play, guess what happened? The away side got the goal, the first goal of the game, which was a great combination on the left-hand side of their attack between Willian and left-back Robinson, actually crossing the ball into the danger zone, which was bundled home by England defender Michael Keane, bundling the ball into the back of his own net, which was a own goal from the England defender Michael Keane in the 41st minute. Wrong-footing goalkeeper Jaden Pickford. You understand? Pickford stood no chance of actually saving that ball because he was wrong-footed, right? That deflection was very wicked. He was wrong-footed. He stood no chance of actually saving that ball, right? And then, yeah, going into the first half, right? Everton did have another chance. You could see they were really following the fact that Michael Keane did score their own goal, following the fact that Fulham took the lead. You could see Everton showed more intent in wanting to get back into the game. Although, unfortunately, it was not meant to be due to the fact that, look, they were just not clinical enough in front of goal. They did show intention even towards the end of the first half where they Tchaikovsky's header narrowly missed the target towards the end of the first half. So which you could say it did give the Cottagers a bit of some breathing room going into the halftime break, right? And then we saw in the second half, it was the same old. Everton were more dominant. They were very dominant. Although they did struggle to really create more of an opening because the Fulham defense was more resolute. Fulham were very resolute in defense, and give credit to their defending. They were very resolute. They held on to their 1-goal advantage, and it was until only the Portuguese striker Beto came on. He literally changed the game for the home side, right? And you could also tell the fact that, a goal was going to come for Everton eventually, with Beto being at the hand of things, understanding the fact that he was causing problems for that Fulham defense, because you could see now they were starting to really panic. And eventually that's what we saw in the 82nd minute. You understand? Beto scoring that crucial header. It was a mishap in that defense of Fulham, right? It ricocheted off one of the Fulham defenders, and it found his head. He found his way, around that box in the danger area. He was in the right place at the right time, hitting the ball for the equaliser in the 82nd minute of the game, which was basically his third goal for the Toffees, and which is like his second in the competition, right? So Beto, yeah, he's a lifesaver for Fulham. Indeed, he is a lifesaver. And I guess it goes back to the fact that was poor defending from Fulham. Once again, what I can also say is that this is historical for Fulham. Fulham won on penalties by 7-6, right? Unfortunately, Amadou Onana had a chance to actually win the game, win the shootout for the home side, but unfortunately, he was very casual. As you could see, that was a very casual penalty from him. And Jordan Pickford, he made wonderful saves. He did make a good save, but you could see there were many penalties where he could have saved it. I can tell you for a fact, Jordan Pickford could have saved 4 penalties. Including the one that he saved, it could have been 5, right? But apart from the one that he saved, there were 4 penalties in which he could have saved. He was just slightly close to saving those penalties. Unfortunately, it wasn't meant to be. Fulham were just lucky. They were just very fortunate to actually make it to the next round, because understanding the fact that they were outplayed throughout the game. You understand? They were outplayed. Luckily, they got the goal against the run of play, which was an own goal in the later minutes of the first half, as well as understanding the fact that Amadou Onana, that was a very casual penalty from him. He was not supposed to be casual. He should have just put the ball in the back of the net and be more composed, understanding the fact that, lots is at stake for the Toffees, right? And the Belgian midfielder, I think he was just too casual. Another player who did miss a penalty for Everton was the Senegalese midfielder Idrissa Gana Gueye. That was the crucial penalty that he missed. And unfortunately for Fulham, unfortunately for the home side, Everton, the drought continues of them not actually winning a trophy, right? As for Fulham have now reached the semi-finals of the League Cup for the first time in their history, as Marco Silva and the penalty shootout returned to torment the home side, the Toffees, once again. So understanding the fact that also the former Everton manager has won all 3 of his visits to Goodison Park since being sacked in 2019, and he did condemn his old club to a 4th exit on penalties in 6 seasons. Again, Everton last beat their London opponents on the 22nd of November in the year 2020. You understand? So the defeat on penalties brought an end to a 4-match winning run, as their hopes of reaching a first semi-final appearance in 7 years were dashed. So congratulations to Fulham, congratulations to the Londoners. They progressed to the last 4, where they will face off against Liverpool. It's going to be an interesting one.